Welcome to May 9th, everybody. We have so much going on, but before we get into anything, I have been just laid out on my ass since Saturday. I have 2 rounds of medications that I have to take. Did not know that I was literally going to have every single side effect of that medication. But today I put on some makeup and I'm probably gonna go right back to sleep as soon as I make this video. While I was down and out for quite some time, we had so many X-class flares from region 3663. I posted one about it was about to erupt, and it did. And it just kept going off, and it's still continuously going off as it heads off the western limb. We are having so much light coming from our sun right now. This is region 664 that absorbed another region, but this has been earth facing. We are getting multiple CMEs that are heading our way. We call these cannibal CMEs because there's going to be 4. There's going to be 4 halo CMEs back to back. Starting today, we will slightly see some solar wind enhancements into very strong geomagnetic storms. We have 5 regions on our sun. 3664, just enormous, absorbed 3668, so we can just scratch this right here. It's just 3664 now, so it literally ate the other sunspot region. We also have 3663 that gave us 4 X-class flares. It is heading off of the western limb of the sun now, but it is still giving us multiple M-class flares. It is starting to lose its delta configuration as it heads off of the western side of the sun, and we are still getting radio bursts from this region, but the next coming up days, not too much of a problem. So let's check out this region first before we get into the big player. Now it is in beta and gamma range. It has lost its delta configuration yet again, still massive in size as it heads off of the limb. Went down in the number of sunspots because it exploded so much. So there's not too much there, although there is still stuff there, right? So we still have a 10% chance of having more X-class flares from here, and the proton level is around 5%. I lied, it gave us 5 X-class flares. That's even more. It gave us 34 M-class flares and 38 C-class flares. This was a really big region. It gave us so much light, and they had 0 coronal mass ejections that were associated with any of these flares, which was miraculous. You know, that blew my mind. Regardless, that's okay. I was down and out. Didn't matter to me anyway. I was unconscious to the world. Still felt this. Don't think I didn't feel this. I feel like that was actually a really big contributor of why I was down and out, honestly. But we will say bye-bye to region 3663 this weekend, and we are just going to continuously watch 3664. Let's get into that one, because this region is just phenomenal. It has exploded in size. It is going up even more. It went up within 24 hours, 570, 25 more sunspot groups because it absorbed 3668. So there's 99 sunspots in this region. This one's not up to date, but we have beta, delta, and gamma configuration and very, very strong here. We have a massive chance of having another X-class flare guaranteed. That's going to happen along with some very large M-class flares as well. Now our proton percent is higher, so we could see ourselves slipping into those S1 solar radiation storms, which we are kind of in an uptick with. Due to all those solar flares, our proton flux is increasing, so we could get to that warning thresholds of 10 mega electron volts. It is rising. We will see exactly how much it is going to rise in the next coming of days, because once it goes past that point, it can stay there pretty stagnant, and a lot of ascension symptoms will be prominent in your life for a couple of days because of that. It will be stuck in the atmosphere. Hooray. We have already had 3 X-class flares from this region, including an X2.2 that we were presented with today. There was coronal dimming, which means there's probably a coronal mass ejection that is associated with it. And it has been giving us the majority of any type of light. 3663 was popping off, and 3664 was, and vice versa. It was Marco Polo, and now it's just 3664. A massive amount of solar flares from this region. It also sent us into a type 2 and a type 4 radio sweep, and we are still being affected by that with the incoming M-class flares that we continuously get from this region. So it's back to back. It's just continuously going to pop off through today and into tomorrow, and pretty much until it heads off the limb of the sun, just like that other region. But we are experiencing a lot of satellite issues, a lot of GPS issues. There's so many things that are going on, and it is affecting the ionosphere, and it is affecting other people. And we're getting these microwaves coming throughout the whole world. It's not just America. So we are being presented with an influx of high radiation right now, which is going to cause a lot of ascension symptoms and a lot of triggers. But we are expected to see 4 halo CMEs on their way, slightly enhancing the solar winds today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So this whole weekend is going to be jam-packed with high magnetic energy. It may drain you. We have a CME that is coming from the 6th, 2 from the 8th, and then we have this next one that we just had from the X-class flare. You can see how it gobbles it up. This is called a cannibal CME. When they are stacked right on top of each other, they kind of just fuse into one massive ball of plasma that it really is going to disrupt us quite a bit. And we can see that peak happening here late on the 10th, early on the 11th. So expect a very high weekend in energies. We are going to see a lot of auroras that will be present along with the G3 geomagnetic storm. This is going to be a strong geomagnetic storm, so buckle up for the weekend because it may or may not be pleasant. Expecting this arrival of these highly magnetic, energetic waves that are going to disrupt the earth. In terms of these CMEs and this very strong geomagnetic storm, we are expected to be hit with a lot of density, so you're going to feel very weighted and very heavy, maybe extremely fatigued, or you may be bouncing off the walls because the amount of energy that is coming in. Now, velocity, same thing. We will be hit with quite a bit of velocity, not as intense as we anticipated because these were more of slow-moving coronal mass ejections. However, yet again, they are back to back to back, all stacked right on top of each other. We can expect to see ourselves on the 11th to be in the very thick of it. So expect a little bit of a funky day that day. Things may be throwing you off completely. Triggers may be very prominent. So we will have to watch out for those type of things in association with a lot of energy like this. But that's okay. We're supposed to have ascension waves. This is not the grand solar flash. So don't get all into the hype of the conspiracy with that. And whatever else is going on with the conspiracies, just don't fall for it. Now is not the time. But if you are wanting to do something, send your mother away for Mother's Day to see some aurora borealis. Why not? Let's go. It's the weekend for it. So today we are expected to see some possible active geomagnetic storm levels. It could hit us a lot prior to what we expect here. It could hit us today. But we are expected to hit those KP4 levels right before we get into an active geomagnetic storm here on the 10th, hitting into those KP5 levels, and then on the 11th, eventually getting into those strong geomagnetic storms. So yet again, a great weekend to get away into those high altitude areas. So if you've never seen an aurora borealis, this may be the weekend for you. Not in Ohio, just so you know, it's going to rain the whole weekend. But anyway, I want to point out that they actually have no clue what the magnitude or strength of this geomagnetic storm is. They know when the timing is, but they have zero clue of how strong this is really going to be. So it could hit a lot stronger than a G3 geomagnetic storm. We don't really have a huge analysis on that. The data is still ongoing as we speak because this is very abrupt. So this weekend may be a mystery of what we're going to get, but we know it's going to be a lot. And we also have 2 massive coronal holes that are Earth facing right now. They are making a connection. So there is a pull right there. We're having a lot of strong effects from that. So we could possibly see an increase in our solar winds a lot sooner than we anticipated. So our solar cycle progression is a lot higher than we anticipated. We have had 15 X-class flares since the beginning of 2024. Unreal. And we're going to continuously get more. Hey, we might even get another one today. So many things are going on right now, so much energy. I don't have enough time in this video to go over the planetary alignments and what the energy is today, but I am making a video right after this. So as soon as you're done with this video, go click on my other one. You'll learn all about today.